Hey everybody, it's Paul from Circular Motion. I thought I'd do you a video because I am sat here with nothing to do. I'm just waiting for my daughter to do an exam and I'm sat in the school car park. It's a glorious day, although it does keep snowing, even though it's really hot. And it's 10 degrees, which in England is a bit of a heat wave at this time of year. But there are big clouds coming. Anyway, that's just by the by. So, I hope you're all well. If you're returning, then thank you, welcome back. And if you're brand new, welcome and thank you. Please remember to hit the like button if you like what you see, and don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly tickle the old notification bell just to keep abreast of when I do new content. This is number one in an irregular series of short videos where I just talk about the pitfalls that I've encountered, or not necessarily the pitfalls, but things to, if you're new to collecting, things to kind of watch out for or be mindful of. And this first one is inspired by a question that somebody asked actually on a group on Facebook that I'm in called Record Collector. Somebody said, what should I collect? Should I go for new reissues or should I go for original pressings? And the big question there is, why are you doing it? Why are you collecting vinyl? So if you're collecting just to collect, then you're going to be looking at mainly getting the older stuff, I would have thought. If you're just trying to build a collection, if you're going comic collecting, you'd be wanting to collect new comics, obviously, but you'd be looking to build up a collection of back issues. And record collecting is, if you're serious about it, it's going to be the same kind of thing. So you're going to focus mainly on original pressings or older pressings, whether it's older reissues or whatever. If you're collecting just purely for the music, because you like listening to music, then it doesn't matter. You can collect reissues, you can collect old copies, so long as you're happy with the quality, then that's absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter. And then I guess the final aspect is sound. Some people buy records purely for the sound quality, and I'm buying them for the music personally. This is how I kind of got into music, but also for the sound. Now, I'm not an audiophile by any stretch of the imagination, but I know what I like, and I like what I like. So I do buy reissues because they sound good, but I also, if I get hold of an original or an older pressing, I tend to try and get hold of that and do a comparison. And 18 months ago I would have said, nah, all this, it can't be different, they're all the same, they've all got a groove on, there's going to be absolutely no difference whatsoever. And I think it's well documented in other videos that I got the reissue of Bowie's Hunky Dory, and then I managed to get hold of a 1983 pressing when it was reissued, and the difference blew me away. And so since then I've made a massive effort, and other sort of notable releases that I've got include some Dire Straits, where the reissue just doesn't sound as good, it just sounds flat. And then there are a few others, but they don't spring to mind because I'm sat here in the car and I don't have anything to hand. The only couple of records I can think of where reissues have sounded as good as, if not better, the Rush, the last wave of Rush Direct Metal Masters, they sound phenomenal. And the recent 40th anniversary release of Dire Straits Brothers in Arms, which did the impossible and actually managed to improve on something that Bob Ludwig had mastered and cut sort of way back in the day. So yeah, there's arguments for everything really, and it all depends on what you're after, and don't be fooled, don't be taken in, don't think, oh well, I'm going to buy this reissue because it's 180 gram audiophile vinyl, because that is absolute horse shite. Basically, bluntly, it's a marketing ploy to convince you that you are buying a superior product. Again, these are words I never thought I'd say, and if anyone disagrees with me, please leave me a comment, and school me down below. I'm always open to hear an opposing argument that corrects me. I'm not, I know I'm not always right, but however, in my opinion, just because something's pushed out as a 180 gram audiophile vinyl, it's not necessarily a better product than, say, you know, a record that was released. I've got a copy of Dave Brubeck Time Out, which is it is a reissue, but it's 1962 it was reissued, and it is thin, it's flimsy in comparison to a 180 gram vinyl record release, and it sounds amazing. That Bowie record I was talking about before, that 1983 copy, it's thin and flimsy, and it sounds way better than the reissue. And you know, I mean, it's again, you know, I think that's my white whale, Hunky Dory. I keep looking for copies of it. I think I've got about 4 copies now. I had 5, but I ruined one, which I'm not going to go into because it's too embarrassing. But you know, ultimately, it's all about what you're after. If you just want to build a collection to say, I've got these records and they are brilliant, you know, some people buy them and never ever listen to them, which is alien to me. It makes no sense. It's like buying a toy that you never play with, or you know, a book that you never read, or a comic that you don't look at, or a DVD that you just like don't open, or whatever. What's the point? Unless you're gonna, you know, hang on to them and sell them at some point, then. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not criticising, just saying to me it makes no sense. You know, if you want to do it and just listen to the music because you like the music, you like the band, it doesn't matter. Just buy whatever's cheapest. To be honest, if you can get, say, a copy of Queen's the Night at the Opera that's 10 quid in your local second-hand record shop and it's in, you know, decent condition, versus the 30 quid version that you can get from HMV, I'd say get the 10 quid one, because you're saving 20 quid and it's not going to be any, in fact it is going to sound better because the reissue is not up to snuff. But you know, ultimately it's all about what you want. So whatever makes you happy, just go ahead and do it. So that concludes the first lesson. If you've got any tips for record collecting, please do leave me a comment down below, and I shall be doing a Hot Wax half hour very soon in the next few days. That'll be coming out, so look out for that. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. See you soon.